Hi guys, I'm Ahmed, and before I started training reps and getting them to close at 50, 60, 70% plus, I used to work at one of the largest sales training companies in the world, and they're called Seventh Level by Jeremy Minor. I learned exactly why reps barely even make any money stay there, and why reps that actually cross the game actually get big results. It's not about the scripts, it's not about the word traps, it's not even about the objection handling that you do. It's a few things much deeper than that. All right, guys, I'm going to share with you 6 things I learned working with Jeremy Minor. Now, the first is you need to know your why. This relates, by the way, to your entire sales journey, that you need to actually know your why if you want long-term success, if you want consistency. And that's what the top reps have. They have a strong reason why, and it's connected to the heart. It's not really externally focused, it's internally. And let me explain. Working at Seventh Level, there's a few different types of closers. There's the journeymen, right? These are the reps that they're joining Seventh Level and they're just geared to get their experience, put in the reps in, work like a dog, put in hours, 12, 14, 15-hour days consistently. You get those that are looking for status and recognition, which is kind of what I fell into, right? They're in sales because they're looking for some sort of recognition. They're looking for some sort of popularity. They're looking for some sort of status. They're looking to fill a void that was made when they were a kid, younger, growing up. I'm not saying everyone, but a large majority. And I know myself, that's why I went to Seventh. I quickly realized it's not a healthy way to go about this journey. Okay, so there's that bunch of people, and these are the guns that just want to top the leaderboard. And then you've got those that just love the mission of Seventh Level, which is like changing the way sales was perceived. And that's what some people bought into, right? And I'd say that's the healthiest because you actually buy into the vision. Essentially, where I'm going with this is because I saw these different categories of people, I actually realized like my heart wasn't in it because I saw what was required to get to the top. I was on a training call with Marco, one of the top guys in the management of Seventh Level. He's like, mate, you need to really understand like what is your why? Why are you here? What do you want to get out of it? What do you want to achieve? And when I actually looked at myself and realized, okay, yeah, I'm just here basically for the status thing and recognition thing, I was like, this doesn't really sound like the right place to come from. When I really sat down it took me weeks of just internal reflection. And I realized, listen, I don't even want the status because I don't give a shit about whether someone else likes me or whether someone else respects my skill. That's an inside job to tell yourself and to see your own importance and see your own value and come out and express that. Don't look for it from other people because people change like that. 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're not. I'm the one that pays my bills. No one was there for me when I was going through shit in the beginning. No one was there for me when I was struggling. No one was there. So why the fuck am I looking for recognition from other motherfuckers? Like who actually cares? So when I really, really got clear on my own intention, and for me it was the freedom, it was enjoying my life more, it was the work-life balance, it was using the skills to actually impact more people on a bigger scale. I realized that I just did not really buy into the vision of the company and I decided to leave. And it was a tough choice because, to be honest with you, I hate saying that I'm going to do something and then you don't follow through. That's not me. I commit the whole way. So that's why I kept it very quiet. I didn't make any posts around me joining because I knew if I did, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. That's a long-winded way of saying, guys, you need to know your why before you sell. And this is the reason why the top reps are the top reps, because they know the why, they have a strong why and they're connected to the why. And it's not externally motivated, it's internal. That's where the power is from, comes from within. The second is training and mentorship never stops. So yes, I had the success to a degree. And even at that time, this is about 2-3 years ago, I saw myself as one of the best. I knew that any offer I could jump on, I would crush it. Yet there was still so much to learn at Seventh Level. I saw the attitude to learning was, this is how life works. We learn every day. We were given training sessions every single day. I had the results, but there were still levels to go. And my mind was blown seeing how some of these guys sell, the nuances, what I didn't know, what I needed to learn. And that's the attitude that if you're watching this and you want to be a top closer, right? You have to continuously learn. You have to continuously invest. It does not matter. Hey, you might be learning from one person right now, but that one person does not have all the answers. The more people you learn from and you keep investing, you keep buying, you keep growing, you can see insane growth. And that's the reason why the best stay at best. So number 3, don't take anything personally. You're always going to be met with weird circumstances, weird scenarios, weird people. When I say weird, things that just don't make sense, like a lot of contradictions in people's patterns. And what got me through that period that I was there was me really understanding that I can't take this seriously and I need to ground my state every single day. So this was the period of time where in my sales journey, I actually use what I call now a pre-call checklist. So let's say you're selling, right? And you tend to have a pattern of doing a certain thing that doesn't help you, like not being present, speaking too fast, talking over prospects, not pitching price the right way, whatever your pattern that is, your limiting pattern is, right? You need to get aware of that limiting pattern, and then you can actually make yourself a checklist of things that you remind yourself to do before you actually hop on the sales calls. And this is what we call a pre-call checklist. I go deeper into this in a top closer program that I have, where I basically share all my strategies with my closers now. The fourth is around the concept of commitment. One of the big changes I learned, which I carry forward now in my objection handling process, is this idea of going for commitment all the time before you handle the objections. Typically before, in the sales space, a lot of people, they had a specific process for handling objections, but it missed really getting true buy-in to whether people are actually committed to their goals and committed to their dreams and committed to the outcomes. An example like this could be like, most of you watching, you know how to handle a money objection. You say, yeah, money aside, would you do this? Yes, no, blah, 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 blah. But like, what a lot of people forget to do is the commitment, right? And are you actually committed to you getting to your goals? Because we can solve the money, right? But the commitment, that has to come from you. Like, that has to be you putting in the work every single day, showing up, following through, because the money is just the first step, but it's the steps that follow after that actually get you to where you want to go. So are you actually committed to being there? And what does commitment mean to you? You know, what does that look like? And so with that commitment then, are you open to seeing ways and strategies that we can actually come together and find the money to help you change your situation? Because right now, if we don't look at things pragmatically, nothing's going to change. 5, what did I also learn? I learned that there were more objections than what most people tell you. So typically, again, if you are seasoned in this sales space, you will have only heard of things like, hey, oh, there's only 5 objections, there's only time objections, fear, think about a partner. And some people even miss time, but time is still an objection. What is so interesting here is when I got at 7th level, I learned that there was way more objections than just those 5. There's a whole category of objections where people pass on their responsibility. Like, for example, oh yeah, my company, they usually pay for sales training, so I'm going to get them to pay for this instead of me doing this myself. You can't really fully use a partner objection framework to handle that, because there is some element of truth. You have to use different wording, different tracks, different identities to get people to overcome those objections. And that's when I realized, wow, the top guys are the top. I've added that to my arsenal now, and I understand how to handle all different types of objections. I think more people in the space need to be aware, because there's too many coaches out there that, to be honest with you, are not really comprehensive in their sales knowledge. And that's my big takeaway from working at 7th, is that most people don't know shit. And the last, selling salespeople at a high level, is definitely one of the hardest industries to sell at. Although it does not mean that because you have crushed selling salespeople, you can crush any industry. It does not mean that. And that's one thing I see people get wrong. Is like, they crush it at one company and they believe, oh yeah, I've mastered sales for every single industry in the world. That's not true. You need to get your experience selling different offers, different avatars, because there are so many nuances. There are different ways you need to pitch. There's different ways you need to speak to people. There's different sales processes, right? Different sales processes work for different industries. And I've sold in so many different industries, coached many different industries, and I've got a process for each industry. So when you're online and you see people talking about, oh yeah, I need to go into identity or NLP or put people in trances and stuff like that, like, it works for a specific category, but it doesn't work everywhere. And I'm telling you this as someone who has closed 2K deals, 50K deals, 150K deals. I've sold the whole shebang consistently, right? And because of that, I know one way of selling does not work for everyone. So you can't identity sell every single human being on every single offer in the world. Anybody that tells you you can, please run away, because they're missing so much, okay? And that's my personal takeaway. If you have the opportunity to sell salespeople, I would take it, because it's the industry where you learn the most, in my personal opinion. And so these are my main takeaways, pulling back the insides of 7th level. I've gone through some generic sales stuff, some specific in your sales journey as well. I made this to show you what it actually takes to be one of the best closers in the world. They are very specific, and they very much focus on connecting people to their heart's desires, okay? That's what real closing is about. If you're not doing that, you're missing a shit ton in your calls. Now, if you're watching this video and you are not where you want to be, right? It doesn't matter if you're only making 3, 4, 5K a month. If you're not the guy, right? If you're not the guy either on your offer or in your life or where you want to be, I have made the program for you. Now, if you are interested, there's a link in the description below. You can book in a call directly with me. I'm going to make more of these videos. I'm going to expose a lot of the secrets, a lot of the game, a lot of the strategies, so that every single one of you guys can level up. That's my goal. If you work with me, we get you to the top of the leaderboard. If that does not happen, we haven't done a good job. It's as simple as that. Technical call breakdowns, mindset sessions, almost sometimes therapy, because there's a lot of deep inner child shit we have to remove and weed out. You work on someone this holistically, which no one else is doing. That's where the fundamental shifts happen. And at Top Closer, that's what we're all about. So if you actually are interested, you know what to do. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.